There is one move at a car dealership that quietly terrifies every salesperson on that floor. It costs them money every single time someone uses it, and almost nobody ever does. It is not negotiating harder. It is not asking to speak with a manager. It is standing up, thanking them for their time, and walking straight out that front door. Last month, someone who thought he did everything right walked out of a dealership $4,200 poorer than he should have been. He knew his numbers. He negotiated the price. He never once raised his voice. And here is the part that should get your attention. He never saw it happen. What happened to him happens to normal, careful people every single day. There are 5 specific plays that dealerships run inside those buildings, and every one of them is designed to quietly pull money out of your pocket. Most buyers do not catch a single one until they are sitting in their own driveway, doing the math, feeling sick. The worst part is that none of it looks like a scam while it is happening. It looks like a normal, friendly afternoon. Today, that ends because you are going to learn to see the moves in real time. Fast disclaimer before we dig in, I am not a financial advisor and I have never sold a car in my life. I am an animated host who looks a whole lot like the boss's daughter and, wouldn't you know it, got handed this anchor desk right around the time everyone remembered Dad owns the building. So take this as education, not personal advice. The smart money moves are still yours to make. Before the 5 flags, you need one idea, and it will change how you walk through those glass doors forever. A dealership is not just a place that sells cars. It is a system, a carefully choreographed, step-by-step process. Every person you meet, from the friendly face out in the parking lot to the finance manager holding the pen at the very end, has a role. That role is to move you through the system before you have time to think. It is not personal. They do not dislike you. They are simply running a script. And when you do not know the script, you lose. So today, I am handing you the counter script. The 5 exact moments where they test you to see if you push back or just sit there and take it. Quick gut check. If your stomach just dropped picturing all of this, good. That is your wallet thanking you in advance. Stretch, shake it off, and lock back in. Because flag number 3 is the one that quietly ate $4,200, and it is coming. Red flag number 1. You sit down with a salesperson, and the very first real question out of their mouth is going to be something like this. So, where are you trying to keep your monthly payment? Almost everyone who has ever bought a car has heard some version of that exact line. Here's the thing. You might think they are being thoughtful, looking out for your budget. They are not. That question is a trap. The second you answer it, you have handed them control of every number in the deal. Here's how it works. You tell them you are comfortable at $500 a month. Now they take that payment and they go to work on it. They stretch the loan term. They might quietly raise the price of the car. They pack in extra products you never asked for. They will happily push you from 72 months to 84, even 96 months, just to keep that payment right where you said. The payment looks the same. The math underneath it is a disaster. Think about what that longer term really does. Every extra year they add is another year of interest stacked on top. And it is another year you owe more on the car than it is worth. That gap has a name in the business. They call it being upside down. And a payment that feels comfortable today can trap you there for years without you ever feeling the squeeze. I have seen this exact thing play out. A buyer walks in looking at a $41,000 car and drives away in a $48,000 car and never realizes it because the payment landed at $499 a month. Exactly what he asked for. He got his number. He lost the deal. So here is your counter move for flag number 1. You look them in the eye and you say, I am not shopping by payment. I want the out-the-door price, the full price of the car, including tax, title, fees, everything. Out the door means everything. That is the only number I am evaluating. If they respect that, good start. If they keep dragging you back to a monthly payment, that is your first red flag. Why does that one sentence protect you so well? Because it forces the whole deal into the light. Once everyone agrees on a single out-the-door number, they cannot hide a stretched term or a padded fee inside a friendly monthly payment. You have taken away the fog, and a salesperson who suddenly does not want to talk in real numbers has just told you everything you need to know. Red flag number 2 does not come with a dollar amount because the damage here is purely psychological, and that psychological damage is what makes every other trick on this list possible. This one is the foundation. You make your offer. You tell them what you want to pay, and the salesman says, okay, let me take this to my manager. Then he disappears. 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15, 20, and you are just sitting there. Here is what is actually happening. They are not back there crunching numbers. They are letting the clock wear you down because every minute you wait, you get more invested. Maybe you took time off work. Maybe you brought your family. You have sunk real time into this, and you do not want to start over at another store down the road. And they are counting on exactly that. This is the sunk cost trap, and it is powerful. Your brain hates the idea of walking away from time you already spent, so it quietly tells you to stay, to compromise, to just get it over with. The dealership did not invent that feeling. They just learned how to use it. The longer they can keep you in that chair, the softer your resistance gets, and the more likely you are to accept a number you would have laughed at when you first walked in. Time in the seat is not neutral. It is a tool, and right now, it is pointed at you. So here is your move. 10 minutes goes by. You are fine. At the 11-minute mark, you stand up, stretch your legs, and if you can see your salesman, you say, hey, how much longer do you think this will be? I have somewhere I need to be. He will say, oh, almost done. 1 second. When another 2 minutes pass with nothing, you get up and you head for the door, and you would be amazed. They catch you at the door or out at your car with a counter offer. Watch how fast that manager suddenly appears. So that is red flag number 2. If the manager has supposedly been working on your deal for 10 to 12 minutes and absolutely nothing has moved, you have permission to leave. The wait is the tactic. Do not let the clock spend your money for you. Now, quick reality check because I want to be fair. Does every dealership do this? No. There are genuinely good, hardworking people in that industry who want to put you in the right car at the right price. Plenty of them go home proud of the deals they make. The problem is simple. As a buyer, you cannot tell which kind of person is sitting across from you until the moves start. And the next 2 red flags, most people never even see them coming. If you are the kind of person who would rather keep your money than donate it to a stranger's sales bonus, do future you a favor and subscribe. Every video here is one more tool in your wealth toolbox. And I would hate for the next lesson to miss you right when you need it. And do me one favor. If you have bought a car recently, drop the dealership experience down in the comments, good or bad. The more we compare notes, the harder it gets for anyone to run these plays on any of us. Okay, remember the buyer from the start of this video? The one who did everything right and still lost $4,200? This is how it happened. Red flag number 3, and it might be the most sophisticated move in the entire playbook. You have been at the dealership for hours. You found the right car. You negotiated a solid price. You locked in your out-the-door figure. Everything is smooth. Then the salesman leans over, casual as can be, and says, "So, what are you planning to do with the car you are driving now?" That is not a friendly question. That is a calculated ambush, because notice what you just did. You negotiated the whole out-the-door price without your trade in the conversation. Now, they get to lowball your trade and quietly fold it into the deal where you will not really notice it. And here is why it works. You have spent hours here. You are emotionally invested in driving this new car home tonight. So you are far more likely to shrug and take a little less for your trade. That sunk cost is working against you at full strength again. Say the real market value of your car is $18,000. They open at $15,400. You push back. They come up to $15,800. And because you are worn down and invested, a lot of people take that $15,800. That is $2,200 gone right there. Add the markup buried in the purchase price. Add the extras they slide in later. And suddenly you are down $4,200 on a deal you were sure you had already won. So here is your counter move, and it starts before you ever walk in. Get a real cash offer on your trade from 3 separate places. A CarMax, a Carvana, any outfit that will put a number in writing. Now, you are holding 3 real evaluations. When they ask about your trade, you say, "I already have written offers from other companies. Beat them or match them, and I will trade with you here. If not, leave my trade out of this entirely. Keep the purchase and the trade completely separate and clean, so you always know exactly what you are spending." One more thing on the trade. If you still owe money on your current car, that changes the math. And that is honestly its own full video, but the rule stays the same. Keep the trade and the new car in 2 separate conversations. The moment they blend everything into one payment, you lose the ability to see where your money is actually going. That is red flag number 3. If they keep trying to fold your trade into the purchase, or they push to know your trade number before you have even picked a car, that is a warning. Never let them blend every transaction into one blurry payment. If they refuse to negotiate the price of the car separately from your trade, walk. Before we get to red flag number 4, understand this. What I just showed you was greedy. What I am about to show you is strategy, and that difference will cost you a lot more if you miss it. You survived the sales floor. Now you meet a new person, the finance manager. He walks you down a quiet hallway into a private office. Let me tell you exactly what you are walking into. That finance manager is not an accountant. He is not a lawyer. He is a salesman, a highly trained one, and his entire job is to sell as many products as possible in that back office. Here is what most people do not know. That finance office often makes the biggest share of the store's profit, and that manager is frequently the highest paid person in the entire building. So when you sit down, he already has a stack of products ready. Extended warranty, paint and fabric protection, wheel and tire coverage, gap insurance, life, accident, and health add-ons. And his favorite trick is to bundle a pile of them together and quietly present it all as just a little bump to your monthly payment. He will say something like, for paint protection and an extended warranty, your payment only goes up $31 a month. Now, are these products always a scam? No. A warranty or gap coverage can genuinely make sense for the right buyer. But you can only judge that when you see the real price of each one on its own. The problem is never the product. The problem is a bundle designed so you can never tell what any single piece actually costs you. Now, take a breath, because this next part makes people angry, and that anger is useful. $31 a month over 72 months is almost $2,300 for products you will very likely never touch. And this is the last office you visit for a reason. By now, you are tired, you are drained, and tired people sign things. They think, it is only $31, and they give it away. So here is your counter move. Before he opens a single product discussion, you say this: I need each product itemized separately. I do not want a monthly payment number. I want the full dollar price of each item one at a time. If he refuses, if he can only tell you what it costs per month, that is your red flag. Real prices survive daylight. Monthly payment fog does not. Red flag number 5 is the one they save for people who negotiated a genuinely great price. You did everything right, so now they need to rush you to the finish before you think twice. It sounds like this. The salesman leans in and says, look, I should not even be telling you this, but there are 3 other people looking at this exact car, and it might not be here tomorrow. Or a manager appears and says, the deal we put together is good today and today only. Here's the truth. The people who have spent decades on that sales floor will quietly tell you that when they talk like this, it is almost always pure fiction. It is a script built to make you act before you can call your partner, check a competitor's price, or simply run the numbers one more time. Think about why urgency even works. When you feel like something is about to be taken away, your brain stops weighing the deal and starts protecting the prize. That panic is exactly what they are selling, but a real deal does not vanish at midnight. Time is almost always on your side because an empty car on their lot tomorrow is their problem, not yours. So the next time a dealership tells you this deal expires at midnight or there is another couple circling your car, you smile and you say, that is completely fine. Then you stand up and you leave. Wait about 72 hours, then call back. I can nearly promise you that car is still sitting right there, and it may even be cheaper than before. Here is a real one. Tobin ran into this exact move. High pressure, deal good today only, the whole show. So he walked out. 2 days later, he called that dealership back, and guess what? They handed him a discount of $1,400 that he did not have while he was standing in the building. By leaving, he got a better deal on a price that was already supposedly final. So that is red flag number 5, and it is honestly my favorite. If a dealership tells you the deal dies at midnight or that mystery buyers are lined up around the block, treat it as a flashing sign. Stand up, smile, leave. Time is almost always on your side, not theirs. Look, I know buying a car is not most people's idea of a good time. It is a big decision and a lot of money. But never forget, it is your decision. Anytime you feel rushed, cornered, or you spot one of these 5 red flags, you already know the move. Stand up, smile, shake their hand, thank them for their time, and walk out. And here is why that works. The moment you walk away, the salesman earns no commission. The manager closes nothing. The finance manager sells 0 products. Your leaving is not rude, and it is not weakness. It is the single most expensive thing you can do to them, and the single most powerful tool you have. Every red flag we covered today is really just a test of one thing. Will you stay in the chair, or will you get up? Walking out costs them money. That is exactly why it saves you yours. Before you go conquer that showroom, swing by the links below. We built the ebooks, the financial calculators, and the resources so you can walk in already knowing your numbers cold, which coincidentally is the fastest way to make a finance manager sigh. Run the numbers before they run you. It is all waiting in the description. You now know the 5 red flags and exactly when to walk. Go watch the next one where I break down the tactics these stores really wish you never found out about. Until then, keep your money, keep your power, and I will see you in the next video.